Greetings, people. It's Mr. PDT and Mr. Brilliant yet again on another episode of the Enlightenment series. Did I say Mr. Brilliant? I was supposed to say Dr. Brilliant. So recently, Dr. Brilliant was on SABC and he was being interviewed in relation to the promotion that was given to the ambassador at large, Prophet Uebert Angel, based in UK, but he is Zimbabwean. So in that interview, I think I'll slot the video of the interview somewhere in between this conversation. But the question that I have for Dr. Brilliant here is, this promotion that the ambassador got, is it an award following the gold mafia scandal? Because why does he deserve this promotion? Why does he deserve this post? Considering the fact that he was recently implicated in some gold mafia scandals. Before we go any further, let me ask Dr. Brilliant here, what are his thoughts on the recent assignment of Uebert Angel to this new post of the Pan-Africanist? I do not know the rest of the description to this title.
Right. So let's start again by making a clarification. So the clarification comes in this way. Uebert Angel is ambassador at large. That's the appointment that he got from the Zimbabwean government, from President Emerson Mnangagwa. Appointed him ambassador at large for Europe and the Americas. That's a separate thing. And in my regard and in my view, that is actually a more influential post. Okay. The one that he just has announced as Pan-Africanist, ambassador to the Pan-Africanist Union, Pan-Africanist Parliament, he is assigned there as interfaith and humanitarian ambassador for interfaith and humanitarian affairs. But that is an appointment that is not coming from Emerson Mnangagwa, from President Mnangagwa. It's not coming from ED. So
it has nothing to do with the Zimbabwean government.
With the Zimbabwean government.
Okay.
Yes. So these member states select these people that become ambassadors.
Which member states are affiliated with the Pan-Africanist Parliament?
Almost all of the African states, all of the African Union. So this is African Pan-Africanist Parliament, part of the AU. So it's an
part
AU
of the African
body.
Union.
Yeah, it's part of the AU body. But what the mistake that most people are making are saying that this is a promotion. He cannot get any bigger than ambassador at large.
Okay.
For Europe and the Americas. He cannot get any bigger than that. So this one is another appointment. It's a sideshow.
It's just a sideshow.
It's a sideshow.
Does it hold any water?
There's not much in that Pan-Africanist Parliament. I probably think that the Pan-Africanist Parliament sits once a year or something like that. The president of that is Fortune Charumbira.
He's the head of the organization of the parliament.
He's president of that. Of the
Pan-Africanist Parliament.
And so it's just a white elephant. It's not really it doesn't have any legislative authority.
Okay.
So they can just sit and talk about things, but there's not they don't have that legislative authority to effect these things in any of the member states.
So what qualifies one to be assigned this position?
That is where the question is now.
Did it even exist prior to this appointment, or it's a new post altogether? That was orchestrated or doctored?
It probably existed.
To suit the ambassador.
It existed. But what the main point that I needed to make is that this is an appointment that Uebert would welcome with both hands and feet. Okay. Because what it does, it gives him this feigned gravitas. Because if you notice now, most of these people that are church of charlatan types are trying to enter into politics. The reason why they're entering into politics is because politics gives them this gravitas that then they use as influence. They use that as influence, and they use that to intimidate even the people that want to speak against them, that they have this title. I'm an ambassador of the African this, and that. So those titles now are being used as currency by these church guys because they have realized that what they were doing in their charlatancy in the churches has not much gravitas outside their churches. So now they're coming in to use this. So we look at one person like Shepard Bushiri. Had he not got a diplomatic passport, he probably would be languishing in a South African prison right now. So, having seen that, Uebert, being the mastermind of whatever was Bushiri was accused of here in South Africa, money laundering and all sorts, he then ran and is now protected in Malawi on the basis of that diplomatic passport. So those were lessons learned. So you see, all of them now want to hold the diplomatic passport.
Just to take you back, you said Uebert Angel was the mastermind of all Bushiri's scandals or money laundering scandals.
Yeah.
And to what effect does that allegation holds water?
If the court cases had continued, I'm sure at one point this would have been brought up. But these were cut short because Bushiri had to skip bail. And he skipped bail to Malawi, and he's now there. And the repatriation of Bushiri is made difficult because of the diplomatic passport that he holds. He holds a diplomatic passport for Malawi. So when they learned that this is a safe thing to do,
to have a diplomatic
passport, they went all out to try and be diplomats. So they involved themselves in whatever way and in whatever capacity that could afford them a diplomatic passport. And for now, we know that this whole gold mafia thing, had Uebert not had a diplomatic passport, would have been talking about a different thing right now.
That's why these guys come in and try to find themselves in politics. It's not really because they are political, but they just want to be immune to any form of prosecution. So
there's this belief that they have now that this gives them immunity and they can operate with impunity. But there's a very thin line there, because some of these European authorities would not recognize this immunity. And the issue here with the gold mafia in particular is that it had now started to connect the first family in Zimbabwe. And that probably was a saving grace, because the minute Mai Mnangagwa was involved, it would have meant that now it's involving the first family. So he got away again with that. But I don't think this matter has been put to rest. There's still more of looking into it. There are still more investigations that are currently going on that I cannot disclose in detail. But we will see in the near future that this immunity that he thinks he has, particularly if he comes to in England, being in England, something is happening. The authorities are looking into a number of things. His acquiring of wealth, the wealth that he has in England, can it be accounted for? Can he point to where this money came from and how he got that? It could be another issue now with ill-gotten wealth.
So these ambassadorial positions that he keeps acquiring, they are a means or a way to kind of protect him.
He's trying to placate all the allegations and all these other things, because now, especially with those that, for example, people that might say, okay, I was sexually abused, sexually harassed, or whatever.
Are there people like that with those kind of cases?
With these guys, you know better than I do. Come on.
No, I mean with Uebert. Yes. Or is it?
Yeah. So now,
so this kind of gives him immunity. And
no. It doesn't give him immunity, but it becomes an imposing and intimidating and daunting task for someone to think that they can make such an allegation or go and say, this is what this guy did to me. That position alone is what these guys are now using to intimidate the people that they've abused, the people that they may have swindled out of cash, into silence. Because now they look at them as untouchable. What can you do to him as an ambassador? What can you do to him as an ambassador of the African Union? What can you do to him as an ambassador at large for Europe and Americas? So that is what they are using. So this is why, if you notice, I put a post out, I wrote something about this gravitas, that is political gravitas, that they are using to manipulate and intimidate. So they are using that to sort of scare people into submission or make people toe a certain line, that you can't touch me, whatever it is that you do, I'm protected. But that protection is like, it's almost like a balloon. It can blow bigger and bigger and bigger, but all it takes is one sharp thing to prick it and it'll pop. So this perceived immunity is like a balloon that's blown to capacity now, and sooner or later will pop this.
So if I'm a victim and then I see this man is being appointed an
Lauded
ambassador,
with all these titles, is ambassador.
I literally become paralyzed.
Yes.
I can't pursue legal charges against
nobody
him.
is above the law. Nobody is above the law.
But
So
does the law really catch up with these people? Look at
It will.
Bushiri. He's languishing there in
Yes, he's escaped
Malawi.
but
He's
at
being
a cost.
protected as well. Is he protected?
He's protected
by the
at
government.
moment. Yes, but he's a wanted man,
Fugitive.
Interpol, go and check on the Interpol list. He's on there now. But can he travel freely out of Malawi? We're yet to find out. But the truth of the matter is nobody is above the law. They can only cover for you for so long, but sooner or later it will catch up with you.
I don't want to go further with this conversation. I think we will we'll discuss it further and go into detail and explore so many other things that need to be exposed in as far as all these appointments are concerned. Dr. Brilliant, thank you so much for this insight into these political and interfaith and the connection, the marriage between politics and the church.
It's the thing. The interfaith dialogue or the interfaith appointment, the part says interfaith and humanitarian. I mean, Charumbira came up and explained.
Who's Charumbira? Is he the head of the Pan-African
president
Parliament?
of the Pan-Africanist Parliament.
Is he Zimbabwean?
He's the Chief Charumbira. Chief Charumbira, the
Chief
one that is also accused of sexual allegations and things like that in Zimbabwe. There was a video that was an audio that went around of a woman.
About the Chief Charumbira?
Yes, that's the Charumbira that we're
He's the one who appointed Uebert Angel.
He's the president of that, so he's probably he had a hand to.
He has influence.
He's also from the same area, Mashingo. So chana chekumusha changupo chana chatete basa and kind of things like that. You know how it goes. But time. People just bide your time. Things are about to happen. You will see.
Oh, we can't wait. We keep our fingers crossed. Till then, and until then, my people, we'll meet you again on the next episode of the Enlightenment series. It's Mr. PDT and Dr. Brilliant. We're out.